Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. So I've been doing a lot of refactoring work, which doesn't show up visually as something interesting to show, but there are some visual things I can show in this app I've been working with. The first thing that I'll show are the uh, the styles that you can change by clicking on these buttons. Oh, I just noticed it changed it from circles to squares. I got this idea from Claude, which made these circles, and some AI changed it to squares. The three main AIs I work with are Gemini from Google, O3 from OpenAI, ChatGPT, and then Claude. And I've been really impressed with the updates to Claude. It's sort of funny that these kind of leapfrog each other. And so I switched to like which ones I'm using. I just have the $20, the basic one. And then if I run into a roadblock, like it wants me to bump up to the next version, like $200 a month or something, I don't want to do that. I just switch to one of the other $20 ones. And like I said, they keep leapfrogging each other. I'm really happy with the Claude one now, but Claude was way down at the bottom of my list, like just like a week or two ago. So that's the nice thing about competition is they have to keep upping their game to try to keep market share. So um, the concept for this app is that if you have a theory, this was my thinking. Um, the basic idea is I wanted to get together a good knowledge base for the web app, so things that would be interesting to look at and try to learn something new. And the idea I had is that people have theories that are new and at the time, and they have to make arguments to support their new theory. And then over time, you can see which ones have caught on. And so I was interested in like what was the argumentation for the theory, in addition, of course, to what the theory is. So that's like I wonder what shows up the best on YouTube. Maybe this one. So this is influential thinkers series. So this one is for Plato, and so this will say what his central thesis was, and then the supporting arguments that he used. So it's going through four arguments, and then the key concepts, ideas, and then a conclusion. And I have that for a number of um, people. So I've got Piaget for cognitive development. It follows the same idea. And then we've got pictures. That's something that I started adding um, to the panel here. Now you see it comes up as white each time, and that's because even if I switch it, and the reason for that is that that's what the default is set to. So that was something new that was added, and there's so there this same scheme I have used in two different contexts. One is for individual people, and the other is for chapters of a book. So I'll show the chapters of the book one. So I have a build script, and I can switch from the individual people to the chapters of a book. And that's what this is doing. So the build script will copy the files I need for the chapter version. And I'm running this on my local computer here. So this has kind of an interesting quirk where this is the name of the book I'm looking at, but these chapters are actually have the wrong content because it's not completely loading that. So a workaround is I'll do an F12, which opens up development tools, reload the page, and that defeats the caching problem. So now I've got the right information. And then you can see that you have the same sort of setup and the same sort of concept where there's a central thesis, main arguments, and so forth. Now, there is a difference in that this version has references. So when I click on references, I can click on a reference, and this is like a card that flips back and forth. So it shows what the scripture reference is and then the text for it. And so it has a different functionality for one of the buttons. So all of this is written out in outside of the HTML, I should say. It's all data driven, so I can use the same HTML for both of these apps. Everything, that's the refactoring I was talking about to get this to work, to where all the themes and so the visual information and the content that's shown is all data driven. So I wanted to show how to create like a new segment. So if I go to Claude, I'm going to ask it to create a summary document. So I'm saying, please do a concept summary document for Max Weber. So this is another, I'm calling them influential thinkers. So it's cranking out a document. And while it's doing that, I'll say something about why I'm really liking Claude. So Claude had a problem with the context window being really short. So you couldn't do much in a session because it would prompt you to create a new session. And it would bug you to upgrade to the Pro version, which is 100. For some companies, it's 100. I think Anthropic, it's 100. Others, it's like 200 or 250. So I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to spend $20 a month in on the different versions and I'll alternate back and forth. Anyway, they really increased the context when, so you can do a lot on a session. Huge increase. And then the other thing is it's a very good model. It does everything well. It chats well. It writes good code. You can see the document is really well done, and it's very fast. So it's a combination of the accuracy, the long context window, and the quick response time that has really made me like that. So I have this concept summary document. So this is in natural English. And then I'm going to have it convert this to JSON, which is a common form of document that computers often used for like web development. And so I'm going to have it do that. And I think it's a good idea to have it write out the natural English first, just to get better results. Okay, so please make the JSON for it. And this should be pretty quick. Okay. And it has a context that it knows what to do. And so I'll take this JSON document and I'll add it to the folder that it needs to go to for the build script. And hopefully this all works fine first time. And then the build script will move this And then it should have everything. Now with Claude, I'm waiting for this arrow to come up. Then I know that it's there. Now I know it's done. So I can copy this and I will put it in the right spot. So I'll do content 4 is its name. Content for thinkers. Content for thinkers. .json. Okay. And it goes into the staging directory. I'll save it. And then I'll go to the build script to move it. So let's get that here. There we go. Okay, so Thinkers, that's the app I want, as opposed to the book one. And then the build script there runs the build script. And this normally runs very quickly. It's running slightly slow here. Actually, this is quite a bit slow. Usually that build script cranks out in like a second. But this is what happens when one does videos. Yeah, I don't know what's, hopefully, okay, looks like it's working. This, like I said, this usually literally takes about a second. Okay. All right, looks like it did everything correctly. Okay. All right, so I'll go back to my, to the browser. And this is all running a lot slower than normal. Normally this is very fast. All right, so I'm refreshing. Okay, go back to table of contents. Okay, so it picked up individual thinkers. Okay, and it's got the 4 contents. So this is the new one that I just did. Okay, now this has the wrong names here. I can see that. This is correct though. That's kind of interesting. But anyway, I'll just do the fix. So I do F12 to pull up the console. The DevTools, reload the page. And this is only a problem I have in my local environment. Online, it always does it fine. It has a better mechanism for clearing caches and so forth. All right, so here's the new one. Okay, so I didn't give it a new image, so I reused one I had. This is the fun part, is to create the image. I'll show that, I think, because that's enjoyable. In fact, why don't I get that started while I'm going through this? So I'm going to go to Claude, and I'll say, ask it for 3 Midjourney prompts. 3 Midjourney prompts. Midjourney V7 prompts for Max Weber idea, please. All right, so I'm going to have it generate prompts from Midjourney while I'm looking at this. And then I can, so this is one of the funnest parts, is to put in the image that goes up here. Okay, so you can see here's the central thesis for Max Weber and the supporting arguments, the key concepts, then examples, and a conclusion. And I did this for myself. These were just things that I thought would be interesting to learn. I really know nothing about this, but I thought this is a really good way of going about it, is to try to think about, okay, what is the key concept of the the person in question, and then how did he go about establishing that concept. And this is a way of trying to understand like how it is that it came to take root and became an established theory. Okay, so let's go back to Claude and we will see the Midjourney uh, prompts. Okay, and to try to go through, I'm not going to go through all of them because it would take a little while. It's pretty quick, although everything's kind of running slower than normal here. But I'll just do one as an example. So I would normally do all three, and then with Midjourney you get batches of 4, and just kind of solve 12 that I can pick from, and pick the one that I like the best for the picture. But I just want to show the concept here. So let's see, have it create. I don't know, I said one of 2 because I just gave it one. I thought I saw it said one of 2, but all right. So you can see it creates this pretty quickly, and I'll pick one. Let's try this one here. And then, so I'm clicking on it to pull this up. I do right mouse and copy image URL. And then I will go to, I'll go to the source here and put in the source for the image and save that. And then rerun my script. Hopefully it runs faster this time. And then that's how quickly it normally runs. Okay, so go back here and reload this. And here's the new image. So that's pretty cool. And actually, I like that one quite a bit. I think I'll just use that. And okay, so, well, that's what I wanted to show here. And eventually, I'll make this public. So if anybody wants